Hey YouTube. Hey, it doesn't matter if you're a stacker of silver or gold. It doesn't matter if you're a numismatic coin collector. There's one coin that we probably all have in common that brings a smile to our face, and that's the good old American silver dollar. There's been several versions of them over the years since they started knocking them out in 1794. But the one I want to talk about today is one I find really interesting, and that is the trade dollar. Now, this particular trade dollar that I have is the only coin that I've ever owned that I've had sent in for grading. I got this several years ago. Matter of fact, I made a video on it several years ago, and I wanted to test out my expertise. And I was thinking that it might be a mint state coin, but this one came out to be an AU58. But man, it's a good looking AU58. So the reason this coin was produced was Mideast trade was gigantic back in the 1870s. And the primary coin used over in the Middle East was actually the Mexican pesos. So America wanted to try to come up with a coin to compete and be used because we had a very strong silver market at that time. So in 1873, the Coinage Act of 1873 was passed, and that in that act they authorized the making of the trade dollar. It's a 90% silver coin. One of the unique things about this coin is it actually has the grains, which is just another measurement of silver. It shows that there's 420 grains of silver in it. And the reason why they put that on there is because it was well known that the pesos had 416 grains of silver. So it had 4 additional grains of silver. If you own one of these coins, there's a chance it has a chop mark in it because, as I said, most of them were shipped over to China, and that's the way they would check them or check the authenticity of a coin is by putting a chop mark in it. Mine does not have a chop mark. And but also, if you're lucky enough to have a MS68 version of this coin, it's worth $250,000. Unfortunately, mine is not. If you've got a 1873 Carson City mint in the exact same grade as my coin, that coin can go for $7,000. So, like any of these coins, you can spend as much as you want on them. I typically have to get working man versions of these coins. What happened, and after a couple of years, a lot of these coins started making their way back to the States. And the problem is the price of silver had gone down. And so the coin itself was only worth about 80 cents. But people were using it as a dollar, and that was causing problems. So Congress ended up demonetizing this coin in 1876. Eventually, they stopped making the business strike in 1878. They did continue to make proofs, though, all the way up until 1883. I would say to me the trade dollar, it's right up there, or I should say right behind the flowing hair and draped bust as far as a interesting silver dollar to me. And speaking of flowing hair, that's the only silver dollar that I don't have. But anyway, that'll I guess will be one of the other coins I'm trying to get in my collection. And so until next time, hope you enjoyed it. You all have a good one, YouTube. Bye.